This waiting is not random. It is not a mistake, and it is not a delay caused by absence. The reason it is taking so long is because God is shaping you for something that cannot be rushed. The length of your waiting is intentional and precisely measured, not accidental or neglectful. Time is not stretching because something has gone wrong. It is being calibrated with care. Waiting is not an empty space where nothing happens. It is an active process where alignment, readiness, and capacity are brought into balance with what is ahead. Waiting exposes how you relate to control. When outcomes are delayed, the illusion of self-management fades. You are invited to trust a process that unfolds beyond your timelines. This is not to diminish your effort, but to deepen your dependence on what is stable rather than what is immediate. The length of the wait teaches you how to release urgency without losing commitment. Precision in waiting ensures that growth is complete, not rushed. Certain strengths cannot be formed quickly. Patience, discernment, and emotional stability develop through repetition and time. If the season ended early, those qualities would remain underdeveloped. The measured length of waiting allows these internal structures to mature fully. Waiting also protects you from premature exposure. Being ready is not the same as being eager. The delay shields you from carrying responsibility before you are equipped to sustain it. What you desire is being preserved from arriving too soon. The waiting period is ensuring durability rather than fragility. There is alignment happening beyond what you can see. Circumstances, relationships, and conditions are being arranged with precision. The timing involves more than you alone. Waiting synchronizes elements that must converge for the outcome to endure. What feels like stillness is often complex movement behind the scenes. The length of waiting reveals short delays, test patience. Long waits build resilience. You are learning how to remain faithful without constant reinforcement. This endurance becomes essential later, when responsibility increases and decisions carry greater consequence. Waiting also clarifies desire. Over time, superficial wants fall away and deeper intentions remain. This refinement ensures that what is eventually received is stewarded with care, rather than consumed impulsively. The waiting period aligns desire with purpose. Neglect would leave you unchanged. Intentional waiting transforms you. If you look honestly, you will see growth that did not exist before. Your reactions have slowed. Your discernment has sharpened. Your priorities have shifted. These changes confirm that the time has been active, not wasted. The measured length of your waiting is not meant to frustrate you. It is meant to prepare you. Every extension serves a purpose. Every pause reinforces stability. When the waiting ends, it will not feel sudden or overwhelming. It will feel appropriate. This season will pass, but its formation will remain. What you gain now will sustain you later. The length of your waiting is not evidence of neglect. It is evidence of intention, ensuring that when movement resumes, it does so with strength, clarity, and alignment. God delays outcomes to protect you from receiving weight you are not yet prepared to carry. Delay is not denial, and it is not indifference. It is restraint guided by care. What you are asking for may be good, even right, but goodness still carries responsibility. Timing determines whether that responsibility strengthens you or overwhelms you. Weight is rarely visible at the beginning. Outcomes arrive carrying expectations, decisions, and pressure that are not immediately apparent. Without preparation, what once felt like an answer becomes a burden. God delays not because you are unworthy, but because you are valuable enough to protect from collapse under pressure. Preparation involves more than skill. It includes emotional stability, spiritual discernment, and the ability to remain aligned when demands increase. These qualities cannot be rushed. They are formed through waiting, through uncertainty, and through faith practiced without immediate reward. Delay gives space for this formation to occur fully. There are lessons that only time can teach. Endurance develops when you continue without visible progress. Humility deepens when outcomes are not controlled. Trust matures when reassurance is absent. These lessons ensure that when weight is added, it does not distort who you are. God also delays to preserve your identity. Receiving too much too soon can attach a worth to what you carry rather than who you are. Delay anchors identity before responsibility. It ensures that fulfillment does not replace purpose or redefine you in unhealthy ways. The delay may feel personal, but it is precise. Timing is adjusted to your capacity, not your impatience. What feels slow to you is intentional pacing. This pacing ensures sustainability. It prevents burnout, confusion, and misalignment later. Wait requires structure. Without internal structure, external responsibility collapses inward. Delay allows that structure to be built quietly. Values are clarified. Priorities are ordered. Discernment is sharpened. These internal frameworks support wait without strain. Protection is often misunderstood as absence. In reality, it is active care. God is not withholding to frustrate you. He is withholding to guard you. What is delayed is not lost. It is being preserved until you can receive it without harm. When outcomes finally arrive, you will recognize the wisdom of the waiting. What once felt heavy in anticipation will feel manageable in reality. You will move with steadiness rather than urgency. You will carry responsibility without losing peace. Delay is not punishment. It is preparation. God measures timing carefully, ensuring that what you receive strengthens rather than breaks you. The wait-in is proof of intention, not neglect. What feels like silence is active formation, strengthening endurance, humility, and stability. Silence is not empty space. It is a working environment where essential qualities are built without distraction. While external affirmation quiets, internal development intensifies. This season is shaping you in ways that cannot happen when everything is explained or immediately resolved. Endurance grows in silence because you must continue without constant reassurance. When answers are delayed, you learn how to remain faithful without visible reward. This kind of endurance is not driven by emotion or excitement. It is steady, disciplined, and resilient. It carries you forward when motivation fades and certainty is unavailable. Silence also cultivates humility. Without recognition or immediate progress, the need to be seen loosens. You learn to serve purpose rather than outcome. Humility formed in silence is not weakness. It is grounded confidence that does not depend on validation. This humility will anchor you when visibility increases and expectations multiply. Stability is built when reactions slow. Silence removes urgency and noise, allowing you to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. You become less reactive and more intentional. Emotional regulation develops as you process uncertainty without being overwhelmed by it. This stability ensures that future responsibility does not destabilize you. Formation in silence exposes internal patterns. Without distractions, fears, attachments, and assumptions surface. This exposure is not meant to discourage you. It is meant to strengthen you. What is identified can be addressed. What is addressed can be healed or refined. Silence also strengthens trust. Trust grows when you move forward without full understanding. This trust becomes a foundation for future clarity. When direction eventually comes, you will not panic or rush. You will move with assurance because you learned how to trust in stillness. In quiet seasons, discernment sharpens. You begin to recognize which voices matter and which do not. This discernment protects alignment. It prevents distraction and preserves focus. Silence trains you to listen deeply rather than react quickly. There is protection in this process. Premature clarity or exposure could overwhelm you. Silence ensures readiness. It allows capacity to expand gradually. What is formed slowly is more durable. This durability will support you when demands increase. The work happening now is subtle but significant. You may not see dramatic change, but growth is occurring. Your responses are different. Your patience is deeper. Your perspective is broader. These shifts are evidence of active formation. Silence will not last forever, but its effects will. What is being built within you now will sustain you later. Endurance, humility, and stability are being secured. This season is not absent. It is preparation, ensuring that when movement resumes, you are steady, grounded, and aligned. Biblical patterns confirm that waiting always precedes responsibility, visibility, and authority. Scripture consistently shows that those entrusted with influence were first shaped in seasons that appeared slow, hidden, or delayed. Waiting was not a detour in their lives. It was the necessary preparation that made what followed sustainable. Before responsibility was given, character was formed. Moses spent years in obscurity before leading a nation. David was anointed long before he was crowned. Joseph endured confinement before governance. These periods were not wasted time. They were environments where endurance, humility, and discernment were developed away from public pressure. Waiting separates calling from ambition. Without delay, desire can masquerade as readiness. Time exposes motive. It reveals whether a person seeks authority for validation or stewardship. Biblical waiting refines intention, so that responsibility is carried with reverence rather than ego. Visibility in Scripture is never sudden without prior formation. Those who were seen by many were first unseen by most. In hidden seasons, obedience was tested without applause. Faithfulness was proven without recognition. This ensured that when visibility arrived, it did not alter identity or compromise alignment. Authority in biblical context is not positional first. It is internal. Authority emerges from consistency, trust, and integrity formed over time. Waiting develops these qualities. It teaches restraint, patience, and reliance on God rather than self-direction. Authority rooted in waiting is stable because it was not rushed into being. Waiting also builds spiritual capacity. Responsibility involves weight. Influence carries consequence. Without preparation, these pressures distort judgment and weaken resolve. Biblical waiting strengthens the inner framework so that when authority is given, it does not overwhelm or corrupt. Scripture shows that God uses time as a tool. Promises are given early, but fulfillment comes later. This gap is intentional. It allows transformation to catch up with assignment. It ensures that the person receiving authority can endure the demands that accompany it. Those who bypass waiting often falter under responsibility. Biblical narratives reveal that haste leads to fracture, while patience produces endurance. Waiting is the proving ground where trust is established and faith is exercised without evidence. Waiting also protects calling. Premature exposure invites resistance that can derail growth. Hidden seasons provide shelter for development. They allow mistakes, learning, and refinement without public consequence. This protection ensures longevity. The pattern is clear and consistent. Waiting is not a punishment, it is preparation. It precedes responsibility to ensure readiness. It precedes visibility to ensure stability. It precedes authority to ensure integrity. If you are in a season of waiting, you are aligned with biblical precedent. This time is not delaying your purpose, it is anchoring it. What follows waiting is not accidental. It is entrusted carefully to those who have been formed to carry it well. This season is preparing you for longevity and impact, not momentary relief. What you are experiencing now is not designed to simply ease discomfort or resolve immediate tension. It is shaping you for endurance, for sustainability, and for a depth of influence that can last beyond a single breakthrough. Relief would address the present. Preparation is addressing your future. Momentary relief often solves symptoms without strengthening structure. It feels good quickly, but it fades just as fast. Longevity requires something deeper. It requires resilience, discernment, and the ability to remain steady through multiple seasons. This season is building those qualities slowly and deliberately, even when it feels uncomfortable. Impact that lasts cannot be built on urgency alone. It must be supported by consistency and clarity. You are learning how to remain faithful when progress is not immediate. This teaches you to value purpose over pace. When outcomes eventually change, you will not be driven by pressure to perform. You will move with intention rather than reaction. This season is also expanding your capacity. Short-term relief would shrink that capacity by removing the challenge. Endurance grows only when resistance remains long enough to strengthen what is weak. You are learning how to carry weight without losing balance. This strength will allow you to influence others without being drained by their expectations. Longevity requires humility. Seasons like this strip away the need for immediate validation. You are learning how to work without applause and trust without evidence. This humility will protect you when influence increases. It'll keep you grounded when recognition arrives. Impact also requires emotional stability. You're developing the ability to process uncertainty without becoming reactive. This stability allows you to make wise decisions under pressure. It ensures that your influence is thoughtful rather than impulsive. This season is teaching you how to see beyond immediate outcomes. Vision is being clarified. priorities are being reordered. What once felt urgent may no longer feel essential. This clarity ensures that your impact is focused and meaningful rather than scattered. Preparation for longevity often feels slow because it addresses foundations rather than surfaces. What is built now will support repeated challenges later. Without this foundation, relief would be temporary and impact would be shallow. You may desire resolution, but this season is offering resilience. You may want answers, but you are being given understanding. These gifts are quieter, but they last longer. They prepare you to withstand seasons of both challenge and success. This season will not last forever, but its effects will. What you are gaining now will sustain you long after circumstances change. You are not being prepared for a moment. You are being prepared for a journey. Longevity and impact are being formed within you, ensuring that when relief comes, it does not replace purpose. And when influence grows, it does not overwhelm you. Stand settled in this truth. You are not being delayed. You are being prepared. This silence is not empty. It is intentional. This waiting is not working against you. It is working for you. Remain aligned. What is coming requires exactly what this season is building.